Hi and welcome to yet another tutorial. This is Ngolush Kati from ticktutorials.com, and today we're going to solve a problem on supply and demand functions concerning complementary goods. So we have an example here of two goods which are complementary, which are jeans and shirts. So the question reads, the supply and demand functions for complementary goods, jeans and shirts are given by the equations PDX is equal to 100 minus 5QX minus QY, and PSX is equal to 50 plus QX. So these goods are complementary. So meaning the variables in one particular good affect the variables in the other particular good. We also have the demand functions for good y, which are 240 minus 10x minus 8y, and the supply function, which is 40 plus 2qy. So how do we go about solving these type of questions? Well, when you come across such a question, you need to remember that when you have two variables, they can be solved simultaneously. So that's what we're going to use. We're going to use simultaneous equations to solve these type of questions. So we have to make two equations. The first equation, we're going to make it from the first product, which is good x there. So I'm going to equate these two functions, the demand function and the supply function, together to come up with equation 1. Then also going to do the same thing with product y. We're going to equate the demand function for product y with to the demand function for to the supply function for product y, because as you can remember, at equilibrium, price demanded will always be equal to the price supplied. So the question reads, calculate equilibrium price and quantity. So this is what we need to do. The first step, like I said earlier, is to get these two functions and equate them together. So we're going to have 100 minus 5qx minus qy, which is a demand function, will be equal to 50 plus qx, which is a supply function. So we're going to then make an equation out of what we have here. So we're going to have the variables on the left hand side and the numbers on the right hand side. So after we solve, we're going to end up with negative 6qx minus qy. It will be equal to negative 50. So that will be our equation 1. Now, we also have to do the same thing for the other product, product y or shirts. We have to equate the two functions that have been given and then come up with one equation, which we're going to call equation 2. So always remember that at equilibrium, the supply always equal to demand, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to use that concept to come up with the equation. So we're going to get the demand function for product x, which is 240 minus 10qx minus 8qy, which is what we have there. 240 minus 10qx minus 8qy will be equal to 40 minus 2qy. And the supply function, which is 40 minus 2qy. So after we solve now the equations together, we're going to come up with this equation, equation 2. Negative 10x minus 10qy is equal to negative 200. So now we have our two equations. All that's left now is to solve these two equations simultaneously. So we're going to get our equation 1, which we got from the supply function and the demand functions for good x here. Going to get it, which gave us negative 6qx minus qy is equal to negative 50. Then also going to get the other equation, equation 2, which we got from the supply functions and demand functions for good y. So which was negative 10x, 10qx minus 10qy is equal to negative 200. So I'm going to eliminate qy from this equation. You can use any way, method of solving this simultaneous equation. So I'll go with elimination. So I'm going to eliminate qy from this equation. And after eliminating, I ended up with 50qx is equal to 300. And qx gives me 6. So to get the value of the other variable, get this 6 and plug it into either equation 1 or equation 2. So I'll plug it into equation 1. While there is qx there, I'll put 6. And this is what I'll get. Negative 6 multiplied by 6 minus qy is equal to negative 50. So negative 36 minus qy is equal to 50. So negative qy is equal to 50 plus 36, and qy is giving me 14. Now to get the other two variables that we need to get, px and py, we get what we've calculated so far and plug the values of qy and qx into the supply function and the demand function. So for the value of px, I got the supply function for px and I put in the value of qx. So this gave me 50 plus qx, which was 50 plus 6. And I ended up with 56 there. And to calculate the value of py, I got the supply function for py there and plugged in the value for qy. So it gave me 40 plus 2qy, so 40 plus 28. And that gave me 68 right there. So this is how you solve such equations. Equations on complementary goods, the supply and demand functions for complementary goods. You have to solve them simultaneously. At other times, you're going to encounter questions like this now with three variables. So you do the same thing, but then you use the method of solving system of equations with 3 variables. So the solutions are out for tutorial sheet 5. I'll link them in the comment section below. Thank you for watching and have a good day.